how do we increase this number one by one? Well, again, part of JavaScript is a thing called setInterval, which basically runs some code every so often. Now, we need to run some code every, let's say, 100 milliseconds, which is what its delay is, and then we're actually going to do something with it, which is increase a number. So the number that we want to increase is this one over here. So let's actually just save this and increase it. So what we're going to do is we're going to let a number, let's call it num, equal to 0 for now. So the first thing that we're going to do is pass this in instead of 4. So num is that. But what we want to do is increase this from like 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 and all the way up to 4. So at the moment this will look pretty much the same as what we've got. But if I increase this number to 10, then we'll get a little bit longer on this page. There we go, downtown space L, which is 8 and 1 plus a space. And then what we need to do is actually increase this number step by step. How do we do this? What we're going to use is a set interval and basically run some code to increase this number and then change this text. So to do this, what we're going to do is set in a constant. Now, why is one constant, one's let, one's constant? This original content doesn't change. This work that happens every 100 milliseconds isn't going to change. This will change. It will change from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3. So this is let versus const. What we're going to do is we're going to put in something called, let's call it add interval, let's call it for now. And how does this work? So this is going to be equal to this code in JavaScript, set interval. There's a few examples further down on the page. So what we're going to do in here is say set capital I for interval and then run this. What do we want to run in here? Well, I want to run some code in the same way as I sent my tag to these curly brackets. Now I don't have anything to pass to this, so I'm going to use some round brackets and then an arrow to the curly brackets. So this is almost like empty to run some code. We want to run the code how often though? Well, after this curly bracket and before the end of this, I'm going to do a comma and then how many milliseconds I want to do this over. So I want to do it 10 times a second, 100 milliseconds, so 100. So we're going to add some code that runs every 100 milliseconds. And again, I have some curly brackets. I like to open them up just to make it easier to read. And in here is some code that we're going to add to number. So we're going to start with number at 0. And then in here, every 100 milliseconds, we're going to make number equal to the previous number plus 1. So we're increasing it by 1 every single time. Now, if we look at the project right now, what we'll see is no text there. The reason for that is this doesn't run, well, it does run only once. It runs once, but number is already 0. It never runs again. So to make this run again, I'm going to take this code from here, I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to put it inside here. So what we should see now is if I go to my project and refresh, this is typing out. And this will type out on all of these projects, all of these H1 and H2 tags at the same time.